When gas hits $5 a gallon, the 55-gallon drum advice that every prepper channel gives you just became illegal inside your building. If you rent, most of the fuel prep you have seen online was written for a homeowner with a garage. This is the version that actually works inside a lease, a fire code, and a $100 budget. This is FlintReady. Survival knowledge structured. Here is the situation without the drama. The Strait of Hormuz closed again on April 18th. The ceasefire window expires on April 21st, and Brent crude is sitting above $97 a barrel. JPMorgan has publicly flagged $5 a gallon retail gas as plausible by mid-May, and California is already averaging $5.89 for regular. Nobody knows what the next 48 hours look like, but what we do know is this. The smart window for preparation is 7 to 14 days before the shock, not the morning of. And if you live in an apartment, the standard advice of stockpile, a drum in the garage, simply does not apply to you. In most buildings, it is an active fire code violation. It voids your renter's insurance. And in a real rationing event, it is the first thing the fire marshal removes. So here are 6 moves an apartment renter can make, all under $100 combined, all fully legal inside a standard lease, and all of them start working before the price at the pump moves. One of them is free, and one of them takes 10 minutes. Stay with us. Move 1. Top off the tank, because this is the free one. The biggest single fuel reserve that an apartment renter already owns is the tank in the car. A standard sedan holds 12 to 16 gallons, and a small SUV holds 16 to 20. That is 200 to 300 miles of range sitting in your parking space right now, completely legal, completely insured, and completely invisible to your landlord. The rule is simple. During a known risk window, never let the tank drop below 3/4 full, and fill up on the way home from work, not on the way to an emergency. It takes an extra 90 seconds per trip, and it raises your effective fuel reserve by roughly 200 miles the instant you decide to do it. This move costs $0, it has no fire code implications, and it does not touch your lease. It is the single highest leverage action on this list, so if you do nothing else in this video, do that. Move 2. One small approved fuel can. The National Fire Protection Association, standard known as NFPA 30, governs fuel storage in residential buildings, and the short version for renters is this. Most apartment buildings cap approved gasoline storage at 1 to 5 gallons, kept in a UL-listed or NATO-spec container, stored away from living spaces and away from ignition sources. Always check your local fire code and your lease before you buy anything, because some buildings prohibit fuel storage entirely, and some cap it lower. Assuming your building allows it, the move is a single 1 or 2 gallon UL-listed can, filled, stabilized, and stored on a balcony or in a detached storage unit, never inside the apartment itself. Budget is $25 to $40 for a quality can. That 2 gallons is not a strategic reserve. It is a one-time top-off that buys you another 40 to 60 miles of range when the pumps have a line 3 blocks long. That is enough to reach a station outside the rush zone, or to top off the day before an evacuation. Do not buy a 55-gallon drum, and do not buy 5 cans. 1 can, filled legally, does the job. Move 3. Fuel stabilizer, The sub-$10 force multiplier. Gasoline in a sealed container starts degrading at about 3 months. By 6 months it is burning rough, and by a year it is carburetor damage waiting to happen. A 1-ounce bottle of stabilizer, Sta-Bil or Preparedness or any major brand, extends the usable life of fuel to 12 to 24 months, and the cost is about $8 for a bottle that treats 10 gallons. The move is simple. Every time you fill the approved can from Move 2, add the stabilizer, and every time you top off the car during the risk window, the stabilizer in the tank does the same job. That $8 bottle turns every drop of gas you already own into a rotating, in-place reserve. Not a stockpile, just fresher fuel for longer, without adding a single gallon to what your lease already allows. Move 4. The destination map, the 10-minute one. Here is what nobody tells renters about fuel crises. The shortage is never even. On day 1 of real rationing, half the stations in your area will be bone dry and half will still have gas, and the difference is not luck. It is supply routes, station size, and operator policy. A branded truck stop on an interstate exit refills twice as often as a corner station in a residential zip code. Take 10 minutes tonight, open GasBuddy or Waze, and plot 3 gas stations along each of your top 5 routes. Think work, the grocery store, and the highway on-ramp you would take if you had to leave town. Write them down on paper, write the cross street, and write which ones stay open 24 hours. In a real event, your phone may not work, but a paper list in the glove box works every time. This move costs $0. It takes 1 evening, and it is the difference between a 2-hour wait in a rationing line and a 20-minute fill at the station 3 blocks over that everyone forgot about. Move 5. The alternate mode fallback. Every apartment dweller fuel plan has to answer one question. What happens if you cannot get gas at all? The answer is not a drum. The answer is a second way to move. Option 1 is a monthly transit pass, which runs $25 to $50 in most cities and $132 in New York. Load it before the crisis, not during. Option 2 is a used bicycle or e-bike from Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, because a serviceable commuter bike runs $40 to $80 secondhand, and an older e-bike can be found under $200 if you are patient. Option 3 is a carpool agreement with a coworker or neighbor, locked in with a simple text chain before any rationing starts. The move is to have one non-car way to reach your job, your groceries, and your closest transit hub. Pick the option that fits your city and load it or buy it this week. If gas rationing hits, this is what keeps you moving, not the drum you cannot legally own. Move 6. The carpool channel, the highest impact one during actual rationing. Every state that has ever rationed gasoline from 1973 to now has used the same trigger. Odd and even license plates, alternating days, which means on any given day, half your building is driving and the other half is not. The households that come out of a rationing event with the fewest missed work days are the ones who figured this out in advance, not the morning of. Walk down your hallway this week, find one neighbor with a schedule similar to yours, and propose a 2-person carpool agreement written down, with a rotating week-on week-off split and a splitting of fuel costs. It costs nothing, and it takes one conversation. In an actual rationing scenario, it cuts your gas consumption in half while doubling your reliability at work, which is the part that pays the rent. A quick word on what not to do. 3 items. 1. Skip the siphon kit. Siphoning fuel from other vehicles is illegal in at least 15 states, and it is inefficient even when it is legal. Not worth it. 2. Skip the bulk stabilizer buys. A single $8 bottle covers 40 gallons, so you do not need a case. The resellers pushing case quantities on social media right now are clearing inventory. 3. Skip the 55-gallon drum. In an apartment, it is a fire code violation, an insurance voider, and a landlord eviction letter waiting to happen. The plan above gives you the real apartment legal reserve, so work that plan instead. We put all 6 moves, plus the NFPA 30 summary and the destination map worksheet, onto one free printable checklist. No email required, and it is on FlintReady.com under free checklists. 6 moves, all under $100, all legal in your building, and 0 drums. If this video saved you from doing something that would get you evicted, or saved you from spending money on gear you do not actually need, hit like and subscribe so the next one finds you too. Stay prepared. FlintReady.com